doesn't make sense playing this kind of music in such small city every weekend. It was here every Friday and Saturday, real underground music. It's business or money-wise really difficult times for nightclubs.
Hello seekers and welcome back to the channel. Kajaani is a small city in eastern Finland with a population of around 36,000 people. It's far from Finland's bigger electronic music scenes, and yet, since 2017, there has been a club there dedicated entirely to electronic dance music. Now that is something that isn't always even guaranteed in some of the country's bigger cities. I played a DJ set there a few weeks ago and decided to sit down with the owner to understand the reality behind running an electronic music club which is considered niche in a city like Kajaani.
My name is Juha-Matti Mykkänen and I'm the owner of Sound Factory bar and nightclub here in Kajaani, Finland. I've been DJing for over 30 years. I played my big events already in 1995 and I've been also producing my own events for 25 years. My first own events were already in the year 2000, so I have some experience about that side of the business too.
Are you originally from here, from Kajaani?
Yeah, I was born here originally. I've lived abroad in Hamburg, Germany and West Palm Beach in Florida, USA, and also in Pirkanmaa region in both Tampere and Nokia. I was there almost for 10 years, but I moved back here about 11 years ago.
How did you get the idea to start Sound Factory in Kajaani?
The idea came maybe because I've been DJing so long and also producing some events, and I had lots of audio equipment and music laying around in my apartment, so I was thinking that maybe I could do something fun with the speakers and amplifiers and stuff like that, and maybe start producing some events like in permanent locations. So that was maybe one side of it. And I could say that visiting Ibiza, the Spanish island, for the first time in year 2015, that was like the big push to start taking things seriously, and I think that was the last thing that made me do it.
Can you tell more about the concept of this when you...
Yeah, the concept has been since the start like real underground club. There has been some like private events or company events or student parties that we have been playing also like mainstream music. But our own events have been since the start mostly only underground. And also all the time different genres, like not just for example techno or house, but we have specialized like different genres, like for example 6-7 hours party of psytrance only, or hardcore, or things like that, or some combinates also with a lot of different genres, but focused more on the underground side of electronic music. In this location we have been since January 2020, so already a little bit over 6 years. But we had first another location. It was the same concept and the same name, and this has been already since 2017, so 9 years this spring. This building that we are right now is built in 1940s, and this section where the nightclub is, this is I think 1950s or 1960s, so this part of the building is a little bit newer. And there beside us is the Kajaani River. And this building was originally like water purifying station or something like that. They took water from the river when this was quite small town, and they had a big purifying system here, like use chemicals to purify the river water, and then they were spreading it into people living in this city. But since the city grew bigger and there started to be some pollution already on the river, They had to end it I think latest 1965 or something like that. And before Sound Factory, here is this location. This was like youth center, like for underage kids, like after school activities and discos and rock music nights, like live bands and such.
How would you describe the scene here in Kajaani? How it was before you started this venue, and how has it developed over the years?
It's unfortunately small, but what helps us here in this location or has helped during the years is that there are not so many places like this in Finland, especially in this region. So for events with good lineup, people travel from quite far away from here. There has been some events that people have come all the way from Helsinki to here. But for example, typical event, people come from 100 or 200 kilometers away, like from Oulu or Kuopio or cities like that. So for our underground events, it's only like maybe half of the people are from here and the other half come from other cities or towns near Kajaani. We have some local DJs that play here regularly, and there has been in some events DJs that travel all the way from South Finland. I think one DJ has been here already 9 times in different events. I could say it's quite easy to get people to play at the events. So for a small city like Kajaani, it's more difficult to get people to the events, like customers or regular people, and getting good lineups and people to play at the events, that is much easier. And with the DJs, when I started Sound Factory, there wasn't so many local DJs, and the ones that we had here were mostly playing like mainstream genres like party rap or normal Eurodance music or rock or pop or something like that, like the typical nightclub or pub or bar music. And from our previous customers, there has then become a lot of new DJs, like they have visited us for the first time and got the bite to, wanted to become DJ, and we have also helped a lot of up-and-coming DJs, like give them possibility to have the first real gigs in our events, like play, for example, warm-up slot at our events. So that has happened a lot.
Music-wise, is there specific genres that are popular here in the Kainuu region?
Yeah. For our events, psytrance events are the most popular for the real underground type of events. So psytrance is the most popular, and there are, for example, for hardcore and hardstyle, there are some customers that really like it. So they are really passionate about the scene. The events are not so big, not so many people, but in this area are a lot of people that are really passionate about the music. They travel all the way to the Netherlands or other countries for events like Defcon or Thunderdome and Masters of Hardcore and things like that. So that is also popular. And maybe third, like techno I could say, but genres like house music or tech house and drum and bass, they are sometimes asked, like people want us to have the events, but not so many people attend those events.
How has the reception been for local people? Has there been many people who maybe just came here out of curiosity and
Yeah, there has been such, and what has been funny that, for example, last year there were already coming people that were here for the first time. Like we've been here almost 6 years, and in the end of the year there were still some locals visiting us for the first time. So it's really possible to have a nightclub in such a small city, and then people are coming after 5 years for the first time. So that is really funny thing. But for the locals, when we started here, and especially when we started in the first location in 2017, our quite strict music what we played was really difficult for some people to understand. Like they were visiting their whole life normal bars and pubs and nightclubs with the mainstream music or karaoke, and then when they visited place with real underground music, and usually not the possibility to have something that was playing in the radio last week. So this was really difficult to understand many people. Like the concept of having DJs playing their live DJ sets or having playlists that we had thought about for the night, and like theme parties for special genre and not accepting anything outside that. So this was for many people, many locals, really difficult concept to understand. But during the years then the people learned what we are, what kind of music we play. So usually those who wanted only to hear mainstream music, they started visiting other places and didn't come here at all.
You previously mentioned that there are not many places like this in Finland and especially this region, but I think it's also in other areas, even well, where I'm from Tampere. I think at the moment there is some electronic music clubs, but sometimes there have been more like dry seasons. There is nothing, especially like clubs.
Yeah, it's really difficult. I would say at the moment it's the same problem all around. Like for example in the UK or Germany, like a lot of really famous and long-running clubs have been closed or will close this year. So I think since COVID-19, since year 2000 until 2022, I think the like underground parties, like free raves, free parties, those are really popular at the moment here in Finland and also abroad. And at the same time, nightclubs are having problems because not enough people either visit, or young people maybe don't have so much money to spend during the night. So it's like business or money-wise really difficult times for nightclubs.
Did you notice like an increase in customers after COVID? Because I noticed that it was like maybe for a period of 1 year there were a lot more people also coming to some bars and club kind of venues, but then it's again slowed down a little bit maybe.
Yeah, right after the limits were like lifted for nightclubs, there might have been a short period of time that there were customers, but I think now you can say for the last 2 years or something like that. I think since the war started in Ukraine, I think here in Finland not many people have so much money to spend to nightclubbing and such, so I think that is the problem also. So it has been quite a difficult couple years already.
Do you have any favorite memories or events or bookings that you remember from over the years?
Actually, we had here so many parties and so many nice lineups and artists visiting us, so I really cannot say one single one. The most successful parties have been usually the psytrance parties, and for psytrance we have had artists coming all the way from Australia. So those parties were like really nice to get somebody play from other part of the world to our event, so they was quite memorable. But I would say the best memories were when everything like matched, when the music was good and we had a really nice crowd visiting the club that night, and like everything went well. Like sometimes you just have the perfect lineup for the night, and it might not be the busiest night money-wise or business-wise, but when you have the right DJs, right music and right crowd, so those are the like perfect moments for somebody that makes underground events. So I would say that as my answer. the biggest challenge is that people are not visiting at the moment nightclubs, and it's the same problem everywhere. So I would say this is the biggest problem, and it doesn't usually even depend that you don't have a good events or good lineup, but it's just since COVID many things haven't been the same, and I would say that for the last like 5 or 6 years a lot of more people have started to listen to underground type of electronic music. It's not a problem that there isn't people who have interest for this kind of music. They are just not visiting regularly enough our events or our nightclub. It could be that they listen to music at home, but go to parties maybe a couple of times a year. So for us this is not unfortunately enough. So there is so little number of people that visit like every party or every event that we have. So this is the biggest problem.
Do you think this might actually be the northernmost electronic music bar and club in Finland?
At the moment,
know if there's anything else.
It could possibly be, because there was in Oulu was Basso Club, but it went bankrupt I think like 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago already. So that was the northeast one, and there is a very vibrant scene, very nice scene in Rovaniemi, but it's only like events or underground parties, so there is no permanent location for underground electronic music. So could be at least in Finland the northernmost.
Are there some things that you learned over the years of having the venue here, or things that you would maybe do differently if you would start again?
Definitely. I would say that it doesn't make sense playing this kind of music in such small city every weekend. So we were open all around the year, every weekend, every Friday and Saturday, and sometimes even during the week. In the summertime we had big terrace here in the front of the building, so sometimes in the summertime we were open every day. I think Sundays we were usually closed, but if the weather was nice we had terrace open here and also music playing there. But since this year, since January, we are open now only during events. So we are not open anymore every Friday and Saturday, but we were almost 6 years open already in this location, like every weekend. So it was here every Friday and Saturday, real underground music. So, but it's too difficult at this moment. So I think it's wiser to have bigger events, but not so often. So that is something I have learned. It maybe works in Berlin or London or bigger cities to have something like every week or every weekend, but not here.
How does the future look for this venue at the moment?
I think what I have interest is, like I mentioned, there has been such big rise in the underground parties. So my interest is at the moment making bigger events, but not as a running nightclub that is open every weekend. So that is what I have been thinking for many years already, and I want to concentrate on that side, and also maybe concentrate playing as a DJ in other venues or other events also abroad, like other cities in Finland. So this is something that I have more interest at the moment. In March we have 2 nice events coming. 13th of March, it's actually Friday 13th of March, we have a really nice party. Hardcore Never Dies. We have a really strong, really good lineup. So it's gonna be old school hardcore, early hardcore, gabber, millennium hardcore, and that is gonna be a really nice event on Friday. And on the same weekend we have on Saturday a party called The Last Dance. That is going to be the biggest event since many years for us. So I think this is going to be like 10 DJs, and I think music from 6 o'clock until 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. So it's gonna be like the biggest party for ending this winter season here. So if you are visiting Kajaani, choose this weekend, like 13th March, 14th March, so it's gonna be really big weekend for us. The event on Saturday, that is psytrance and techno.
And anything else you would like to add to the viewers or people visiting?
No, nothing special, but I want to send thanks and greetings to all the DJs and artists that have been visiting us. There has been a lot of really nice DJs from abroad, both in Finland and other countries, so thank you. And also thank to all of the ravers and customers that have been visiting our club, so because the people who make the events, I must say, both the DJs and also the dancers. So.
Thank you, Juha-Matti. That night the crowd wasn't big, but what stayed with me was the atmosphere. What I experienced felt familiar, a sense of community you often find at smaller underground parties, warm and open-minded people, and a sense that everyone is there for the same reason. Maybe that's part of what makes places like this meaningful. Let me know in the comments what kind of electronic music spaces exist where you live. And by the way, do you know of an electronic music club operating further north than this one? See you next time on Electric Byway.